consider others before you consider yourself, to protect your brother even from himself, to give support at your own expense, and when wearing the black and gold suit of armor, make sure nobody desecrates it, disrespects it. Most importantly, we ourselves don't dishonor it. From previous legends who have donned the black and gold. These virtues I learned while playing for the Steelers are what make the legacy of the black and gold timeless. They are passed down in the locker room from the steel curtain to anyone who valiantly wears the black and gold. Creating a brotherhood that is deeper than money, business, and winning. To be a Steeler is to consider others before you consider yourself. This is our culture, Steeler culture.
Now, here are your hosts, Rob and Dan, the SteelTwins.
It is still and forever will be Heinz Field to us, damn it. Steelers Nation, how are y'all doing on this Sunday night? Welcome to episode 88 of the Steeler Culture Podcast, where we break down Pittsburgh Steelers football. And week one of training camp is officially in the books, brother.
The first few days, as a matter of fact.
I consider it week one.
Technically, it's week one because tomorrow is their off day, which means Tuesday is the first day that pads will officially come on, which is when the real action starts to happen, which is when things really start to matter, when things start to escalate for a lot of the talent, a lot of the guys, where a lot of them, man, and today we're going to talk about a couple of them. A lot of them have made a very good first impression for the first couple of days of Steelers training camp. If you guys did attend Steelers training camp, hope you guys had a great time and enjoyed yourselves. We're still trying to get out there this season. It's going to happen. I can guarantee you that. It's going to happen. I can't tell you when, but we'll get out there.
Oh, we're going to try. We're going to work our way out there, believe me.
But I'm hoping you guys are enjoying Latrobe. If you guys are going to Friday Night Lights on Friday, this upcoming week, you guys should enjoy yourselves because the one time we tried going there.
Yeah, it rained, and it was a disaster. Literally rained on our parade.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it on and off before. I'm not going to get into that whole tangent. I'll be here all fucking night because I'm still not over that. Swear joy.
Still butthurt about it. Yeah, I get it.
Yes, but tonight, we're going to be talking about some details of the first couple days, the first week, really, of Steelers training camp, talking about George Pickens and what he's been doing and how he's been stepping up as the wide receiver one, and, of course, his heated altercation with Zach Cassani, our new wide receiver coach. We're going to get into all that. And, of course, Justin Fields getting all of the first-team reps because Russell Wilson is injured. He has been out the first 4 days, the first week of training camp due to a calf injury he suffered during a conditionings test.
Yeah.
So we'll talk.
All Justin Fields, none of Russell Wilson, at least not yet.
Not yet.
I would anticipate that we see him sometime in week 2 with the pads on. I don't know when. Maybe Tuesday, fingers crossed, because I do want to see how Russ does with the group of offense and Arthur Smith. But so far, we've just seen nothing but Justin Fields.
Yeah. So, I mean, so far, from what I'm hearing, he's been he's been the Justin Fields that Chicago's been getting
He's
for the
had,
most part.
pretty much to put it short, he's had his good days and he's had his bad days.
Well, he's had his moments. He's had his inconsistencies, really. We'll discuss all that and so much more, man. But before we get into the discussion, I want to give a huge shout-out to the sponsor of today's podcast episode 88. Shout-out to Lynn Swan of the Steelers Culture Podcast.
Love you, Lynn.
Yeah, I really do. But yeah, shout-out to Chris Gates Fitness and his online fitness program, Training Camp, for sponsoring today's podcast episode, man. Chris Gates is a Steelers fan, for those that don't know. He is actually born and raised in the South Hills of Pittsburgh, and he's created a fitness community designed specifically for football fans just like you guys and us all included. Training Camp is an online fitness community designed specifically for sports fans to help you get results with your health and fitness without cutting out everything you love, such as drinking beer, which, I mean, if you're into that, and of course tailgating during football games in the fall. Training Camp is centered around sustainable results, no crash diets or extreme routines. If you're ready to elevate your health and fitness goals and do it with a group of like-minded individuals looking to support and encourage each other, you have to check out Chris Gates Fitness Training Camp program right here. As you guys see, the link is posted at the top of the live chat and, of course, the comment section and in the description. You get all this, man. You get training videos, you get tutorial workout videos, you get recipes, you get coaching, you get one-on-one Q&As, one-on-one Facebook messages, a Facebook community. You guys can talk with guys that are joining the same program, that are trying to accomplish their fitness goals. And the great thing about it is it's not just about fitness, it's about sports as well. It's a combination of fitness and sports. So he's going to combine both of them to make one hell of a training camp program known and named Training Camp, conveniently. So you get all this on his website, and if you were to sign up, you would get access to his early access program for just $10 his first month. $10, man, you cannot beat that. So with Chris as your coach, you'll get top-notch guidance. In addition to being a massive Steelers fan, Chris has been coaching people online since 2018. As you guys see here, this is just some of his clients he has been working with that has found success. His clients consistently get results by implementing a flexible approach to diet and exercise. Customized monthly workout programs will help you build muscle, burn fat, and feel more athletic. And access to live Q&As with Chris, exclusive community support, and more will help you hold you accountable and work you towards your fitness goals. Training Camp members also compete in fitness challenges each month, as well as sports challenges like weekly football pick'ems in the fall, where Chris gives out free prizes like home gym equipment, supplements, free one-on-one coaching calls, and much more. So guys, if you're interested in getting brand new workout programs every month so you can achieve your health and fitness goals, fitness challenges every month to help push you to develop healthy habits, challenges within the Training Camp community, like weekly football pick'ems where you can compete with other members and score awesome prizes, access to live Q&As where you can get direct, personalized support from Chris with your health and fitness, and the support of a community of people there to encourage you every single step of the way. You can get all this and so much more right now with Chris's exclusive massive discount, where thanks to his early launch period, if you sign up this week, like we mentioned, you get all this for just $10. That's 80% off of the monthly price.
Yes, it is.
So for $10, man, you can't beat it. This is something that's definitely worth a try if you're into fitness and sports and want to interact with like-minded individuals. It's just $10, man. It don't cost you anything. You can cancel anytime. It's absolutely worth a try. So head over to chrisgatesfitness.com/SteelTwins or hit the link at the top of the description, live chat, or the comment section to sign up right now and use the code SteelTwins to get that exclusive discount. So once again, thanks to Chris Gates Fitness for sponsoring today's podcast episode. Shout out to Jacob Frederick, member for 3 months, says, yo, Steel, do you think Tomlin will start Fields? Which is it's a great way to get into the discussion, the training camp discussion, which I'll pop that up on the screen right here.
Run the ball!
There we go.
Shout out to Jacob.
As far as Fields, because I guess that's where we got to start, right?
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, the news broke Thursday morning when it came to the start of training camp that Russell Wilson was not exactly going to be practicing. You know, he hurt his calf. He woke up with tightness in his calf from a new conditioning regime that the Steelers were trying to do. This
and they've added a lot of new things to training camp.
Yeah, they have.
Not just this, but there's this thing going around where if there's a penalty committed, like for example, false start. If there's a false start committed, it doesn't matter who you are or what team you're lining up with, first, second, third team. If you get a false start, you have to run laps. That's the new thing they're doing.
Yep.
And that was exercised a lot today specifically. We'll get into that. But yes, Russell Wilson.
He woke up with tightness in his calf Thursday morning from a new conditioning regime where players were pulling a heavy sled. And he got tightness in his calf, and throughout the past 4 days, he just has not been practicing. He's pretty much been resting. He's healing. He has been in some throwing sessions. He has been in some activities. He has been moving around, but he has not been getting the reps in there. Thus, he hasn't exactly been practicing completely. So Justin Fields has been in there for all first-team reps.
Right. Well, it's also a thing where he's 36 years old, and at this stage of his career, getting first-team reps without the pads isn't like a big deal.
It's really
for
not.
him.
It's really
for
not.
him. You know, it's best that he just rests up, give Fields all the reps he can get because he's going to need it. So yes, because Russell Wilson was hurt and he was pretty much in a baseball cap the first 4 days, Justin Fields got all the first-team reps. And Fields has been very up and down all camp, according to multiple reports, where he's shown his accuracy, he's shown improvement there, he's shown his capability of moving around in the pocket, evading pressure, zipping the ball between defenders, hitting guys like Roman Wilson and Van Jefferson deep. So he's shown those capabilities. But those inconsistencies that came along with him his entire career still remain the same.
Yeah.
Now, granted, again, it's training camp. It just started. It's nothing to really overreact, especially since he's shown this
His whole career, pretty much.
Pretty much in Chicago. He's going to be the backup. I don't think Fields is going to be the starter. They're not ruling it out. Why would they? There's a possibility he could be the starter. I don't think it's going to happen, though. I don't think they're going to sit I don't think they're going to sit Wilson. And considering where he's at and what he's been getting in training camp the first couple of days, it's a good thing for him specifically because he's going to need growth. He's going to need some consistency. We got a new entire offensive scheme working around in training camp now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's going to need it in case of emergencies such as this. Wilson gets hurt. Maybe his age is catching up to him. I don't know.
Right.
Could be anything.
Right.
But I still think Wilson will remain the starter. There's a chance Fields could get it, but I don't see it yet.
I mean, Fields is going to compete. He's definitely he made it vocal. When it came to OTAs, his plan is not to sit down and hold a clipboard. He wants to go out there. He wants to compete. He wants to be the starter. He's going to compete no matter what. The Steelers know that. They're going to be open-minded about that.
Sure, they should be.
But Russell Wilson, the guy was never benched due to his play before. Ever?
No, he started every single game he's played. He started.
So
every single game.
So when it comes to his play, it's not really a huge concern when it comes to the Steelers. It's not really a worrisome thing. It's just the fact that Wilson has to heal. He has to wait it out a little bit, and then when it comes to him getting better, his conditioning getting better, when the pads come on, then that's when we're really going to see what Wilson's capable of with Arthur Smith and the targets and what the chemistry and the communication is really going to be about.
And the same thing is said for Fields. I'm interested to see if there's going to be substantial growth. And excuse me for sounding like Mike Tomlin right now. Substantial growth from Fields once he puts the pads on. First couple of days, he's already getting conditioned. He's getting familiar with the scheme and the sets that they're running and, of course, the chemistry. Because the first couple of days, he was a little rough. Today was apparently his best day. So you can see he's starting to get more comfortable where he's at. He just needed a new change of scenery. He needed a better scheme. He needed a team to pretty much entrust in him, to surround him with weapons and a production, what do you call it, a support system. So you see Fields is getting comfortable. So when the pads come on, I want to see and hear if there's some substantial growth there in that area in a lot of ways.
Indeed, yeah.
So that's going to be really tested, especially since the Steelers play actual football in a week and a half. 1 week from Friday, actually.
Yeah, August 9th. It will be the Steelers' first preseason game against the Houston Texans.
Versus the Texans.
And
so,
we
will.
We got a little bit of homework to do with the Hall of Fame game this upcoming Thursday.
Yeah.
And yes, I'm doing homework because I want to get in the spirit of football, okay? That's how much I miss the sport. I'm ready for football.
I'm right there with you, bro. I'll be watching the Hall of Fame game.
I don't care if I'm scouting Davis Mills or whatnot. I just want to watch some football.
Yeah.
All right?
Absolutely. No, because we won't have to wait much longer for Steelers football. It's only 1 week from Friday. We got, I guess, a little bit of a treat this upcoming Thursday if you're into that. I know I'm into that. I just need something to do on my Thursday nights. I'm sorry.
It could be the most boring game. It could end 3-0. I don't care as long as we're watching actual football on our television.
Right. But we should be able to see if there's any growth or if there's any increase in Fields' play via training camp. And once, of course, preseason comes around, we can actually see him on the field with said talent he's been working with. But the fact he's getting first-team reps due to this injury is good for him because, like I said, he's going to need it. And who knows? We don't know how the season's going to go. This can go multiple ways.
Yeah.
Wilson might not be the star of the whole season. He might get hurt. No one knows. Anything can happen. So, in the future of the quarterback situation for the Steelers is still an incredibly unknown. So, it's good that he's able to get the reps that he's getting now, even though it is via the injury. When Wilson gets back, I'll be very interested to see how much first-team reps Fields will be getting then.
Yeah, what's really going to be the distribution between the two?
Is it going to be a situation where Wilson is late to the party with first-team reps because of his injury, that he's going to get a bulk of it, very much like Fields got the first 4 days, or are they going to split it evenly? Do they want Wilson to get caught up with everything that Fields is getting conditioned with in chemistry and everything that they're running with? Or could they really split the reps like Tom has been saying, because he's keeping this an open-minded competition?
Yeah, it is.
So it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to work that out once Wilson gets back, which could be Tuesday. Hopefully, but we'll see what happens. But in regards to the competition, if you ever even want to call it that, I still think Wilson's going to be the starter by week 1.
Yeah, my mind hasn't changed about that. But come this upcoming week when the pads come on, we'll see what goes down.
Right. Let's see. If I get to see Fields in person in the homeowner, I'll be happy still. I don't blame you, Jacob. I don't know if he'll be there at the opener. Lord knows. Anything could happen. But I think we're in agreement. Wilson's still going to be the starter.
Yeah.
Squatch Washer says Kyle Allen is looking good and will be a solid backup quarterback. Yes, he's another quarterback that has benefited from the Wilson injury because he's getting second-team reps, which is what Fields would have been getting.
He's getting the Justin Fields reps, yeah, and he's making the most of it. Kyle Allen has actually been showcasing so far a nice start to camp. He's connecting with his targets. His accuracy has been pretty solid from what I have been hearing. You know, he's looking real good out there, which is good to hear because, you know, this is an entirely different quarterback room compared to last year. We know how last year's was. I'm not even going to go over it anymore. And it's good to hear that these guys are coming along together slowly but surely, day by day. They're connecting with the targets. They're getting used to the scheme with Arthur Smith and what he's bringing in and whatnot, you know. So this is something that you love to hear and you love to see coming out of this quarterback group.
Right. So that's a good thing. And Kyle Allen has always been a very good backup wherever he's been, which has mostly been with, like, Ron Rivera. So the fact that he's doing good is a good thing because, again, Lord knows what could happen with the quarterback situation. We might have something similar to last year. I don't know. Not in terms of quarterback play, just due to circumstance where injuries happen and stuff like that. Lord knows.
Yeah.
Anything could happen, and we got to keep they got to keep their guards up in terms of the quarterback situation. But moving on, man, I guess we got to talk about George Pickens since that's the other big story that came out of the first couple of days.
Yeah, that they came out of day one specifically. Apparently, there was a heated argument between new wide receivers coach Zach Assani and George Pickens over what appeared to be a lack of effort coming from Pickens during a rep. Zach Assani let his opinion known to Pickens that he felt like he wasn't doing enough on the rep, and Pickens didn't take too kindly to it, which led to the heated argument.
Yeah, which is, I'm not going to say it's a concern. I'm not going to say it's really anything because it's training camp. Stuff like this happens all the time. Now, it's different when it's a player and a newly acquired position coach. But Pickens, as we all know, has always been somewhat of a head case, if you want to go in that direction, for lack of better terms. He's always had character issues or character concerns, as a matter of fact.
And people have even talked about, not to interrupt you, but people have even, showcased his lack of effort during football games. If you remember last year against, I think it was the Colts.
Yeah.
He didn't make the block for Jalen Warren on what would have been a touchdown, but he just missed his assignment and didn't do it.
Yes.
Because he was worried about what happened to Tank Dell, because Tank Dell did the same thing and he suffered a season-ending injury.
Right.
That was his explanation.
Right, but I mean, still, those things are looking to creep back up with Pickens and his concerns as we advance farther into his career and his future as the wide receiver one. Listen, Z, I'm gonna call him Z. Zach Asani, I'm gonna just call him Z. Z will keep him in check. Pickens needs to be held accountable for his actions or anything that he does unprofessionally on the football field. He needs to be held accountable. Someone needs to hold him accountable. Tomlin, I haven't seen anything yet, so I'm going to say Tomlin hasn't done a good job of doing that. So if there's someone that's got to do it, it's got to be the position coach.
Yeah, and every other wide receiver coach that we had, Friesman Jackson, I think there was another guy, I can't remember his name, but they haven't really been holding these receivers accountable for their actions.
No, and
specifically Deontay Johnson and, the crazy, drama that was coming out from him in the locker rooms and on the field and whatnot.
And Z has always been a guy where he's pushed his talent. He's always been all hands on with his receiving core, with his receiving group, and he's always been of the mindset, hey, you can never say I didn't work you hard enough.
Yeah, he's very upfront. He's very hard-nosed. He's a guy that's going to want to push these receivers to be the best version of themselves on and off the field. He wants these guys to better themselves. He wants these guys to be the best.
And he has a very good track record of being a position coach at wide receiver for a number of years now, most recently with the Denver Broncos. So, I mean, a guy like him to work with a guy like Pickens, I think that's what Pickens needs. He needs someone to Pickens needs someone to humble him, and Z, I think, could be the guy to keep him in check and keep him, professional in the best way possible, where he's not going to have these spaz out moments like we've seen in years past. We all know Pickens has top 10 potential, and I say that seriously. He has top 10 potential. I feel like he can be a true elite wide receiver. I think he can be an elite receiver if he was with a better quarterback and a better scheme by now, truthfully. You look at the numbers, you look at his on-field play, the guy has very similar impact to some of the best in the league, dude. That's just how much of an X factor he is on the field. So we all know how talented he is. He just needs to get out of the head case moments. And I think a guy like Z Asani is perfect for that. And that was already shown day one where they had a heated argument and Z wasn't having it. He's like, this is not going to happen.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing that was able to occur, because get that out early, get those frustrations out early. And arguments in training camp aren't a bad thing. It isn't an unfamiliar circumstance. Happens all the time, more specifically between players. But it's just one of those things where it's going to make them better. It's going to make them more understanding of each other. And they're going to just work together to get to their ultimate goal.
Yeah.
And work hard to get to where they should be, like a guy like Pickens. So I think that's what he's going to be doing, and I think that's what he's already been doing, because ever since then, Pickens has been pretty quiet. He's been doing normal Pickens stuff, having his big catches, his big days. Fields is connecting with them deep. That's good things you want to hear. That's good things you want to see.
Yeah, and with this argument, it could be one of those things where it's just water under the bridge, which I'm sure it is. They probably have a better understanding for each other, for their each other's mindsets and whatnot. And with Asani, not only is he working with Pickens, but he's working with an entirely different wide receiver room too, with Roman Wilson being drafted in all these free agent additions like Van Jefferson, Scotty Miller, Quez Watkins. So he's got a whole room of different wide receivers to work with and try to push and see if they can step up to the plate for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's just exactly what this receiving core needs, is a position coach that's like all hands on deck with their guys, that's interactive, that's trying to bring out the best of them. And that's what he's been showing, man. He's been all around his receiving core, and I think it's showcased in some of these guys in the receiving room, making a very good first impression. Guys like Roman Wilson, guys like, I think Quez Watkins had himself a good day today. Van Jefferson had a first couple good days.
Or what he could, teach Calvin Austin a thing here and there.
Absolutely. And Asani had nothing but great things to say about Calvin Austin coming out of minicamp. So you already see, he's making a huge impact on these guys' development and their status with the team.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's getting tied in with Pickens in a positive or negative manner, it's only going to make Pickens a better player, a better professional, I suppose.
Yeah.
It should be.
I hope Pickens understands that.
Yeah.
He shouldn't get complacent.
No,
And
but
you shouldn't be afraid of criticism from a coach because that's what every player needs.
no. But speaking of Roman Wilson has had himself a very good start to camp, which to some people might be a surprise. To someone like me personally, I thought he was going to have himself a pretty immediate impact. Now we'll see what happens when they actually get onto the field against opposing talent, opposing teams. But he's having himself a damn good camp so far. He's flashing his route running, his speed, his strong hands, his vertical threat. And if I'm correct, he was the only guy to score a touchdown on the 7 shots yesterday, which the defense won 6-1.
We've got 2 words for
Eddie
you.
YouTube channel Super Chat 1199 says, Pickens is a mini blacker version of Claypool. He's much better than Claypool, Eddie. Come
He's
on.
1,000 times better than Claypool.
Come on. He's a lot better than Claypool. First of all, Pickens
He was a better prospect coming out of college than Claypool was.
isn't even on TikTok, bro. Pickens isn't even on
Yeah,
TikTok.
thank God. You better stay away from that.
You know who's
motherfucker.
on TikTok, though?
Yeah.
The SteelTwins. Yes.
We have an account. Yes. We made an account. We have an official TikTok account, SteelTwins_. If you want to give us a follow on TikTok, feel free. Go ahead.
It's in the description below. Just had to kind of.
I don't
throw that out
use
there.
the app. Like, as soon as I open the app, I want to turn it off. But, it's just a way to spread our platform.
No, don't
Spread
get us wrong. I despise that app. I despise TikTok. I do not endorse it whatsoever. But it's there for purely getting our brand and for growth purposes. That's it.
So 2 words for you, TikTok.
I suppose.
I got
so.
you, Ben. I got you.
Yeah, but no, Roman Wilson's had himself a damn good training camp thus far. Like I said, he had the only touchdown of 7 shots yesterday for the offense, which was very good. Now, the defense won 6-1 yesterday in 7 shots. Today, it was completely opposite. The offense won, what was it, 5-2?
I think it was 6-1 today.
5-2, 6-1, depending on a Quez Watkins touchdown, I believe.
Okay.
But you see the offense is starting to get comfortable. The offense is starting to gel together. The offense is really starting to make things work, make things happen. They're starting to, quote-unquote, cook, which is a good thing because, first of all, it's still early in the training camp, so there's no need for any overreactions. But it's also one of those things where, yeah, we got a whole new scheme. We got a whole new identity, I suppose.
And we do.
We got a whole new face there. So the fact that these guys are getting better and the offense is starting to gel well and start to put up some plays and some production against our starting lineup is a good thing. It's a very good thing to see from the offense. Arthur Smith himself is incorporating a lot of Arthur Smith things, a lot of tight end heavy packages, a lot of 12, 13 personnel, a lot of pistol, a lot of running back screens, a lot of stuff that personally the Steelers haven't seen in a long time.
No, everything that
Play
Arthur Smith
action.
is known for. Yeah, the play fakes, the pistol formations, the usage of fullbacks and tight ends, and
Read options.
getting them involved. Yeah, it's all things Arthur Smith has been known for years. So he is very hands-on, and he's getting his scheme, he's getting his playbook heavily involved early on. And a big component that has aided, a big player that has aided from this has been Pat Frymuth.
Yes, Pat Frymuth has been one to be getting a lot of targets from the quarterbacks. Now, I know it's training camp, and yeah, he's going to get targets and stuff like that. But the fact that he's being implemented a lot in our offense and their new scheme that they're running compared to last year is a good thing because he's making plays. So far, he's staying healthy, and they are trying to use him more. They're trying to entrust in their tight end they took a couple years ago in the second round.
Yeah.
So he's someone that the Steelers need to utilize. Think of Pat how you want. The truth is, he's shown his potential. We know what he can do. They just need to use him, and he needs to stay healthy. He could truly be in for a breakout year.
Big time. I mean, Muth, we all know the potential that he has showcased and still has to showcase for sure. But last year, he was not utilized one bit. He was primarily used as a blocking tight end. Although the Steelers drafted a blocking tight end in Darnell Washington, they thought, oh, well, let's just put Frymuth as our blocking tight end and not the rookie standout that we selected that fell to us.
Sure.
They never utilized Frymuth. He only had one big game. That was the game after Canada was fired. And even after that, we hardly saw Muth.
Right.
Muth had a down year, not entirely his fault. But at the same time, his availability is a big concern still.
Right.
And with him being with Arthur Smith now, being heavily involved in training camp, his availability, like we stated all offseason, is definitely something to keep an eye on for Pat to prove himself on.
Yeah,
if he can remain healthy.
And what I'm hearing about Freiermuth is they're not just lining him up as a tight end; they're lining him up all over the field. They're lining him up wide in the slot, at tight end, and in the pistol.
And that's how they should be using him. He shouldn't be limited to one position or one spot. Move him around because he showcased his athleticism. He showcased his ability to be used anywhere. Well, he did it in Penn State. He did a little bit early on in his Steeler career.
I think he could be utilized in a similar way the Jags use Evan Ingram, where he's all over the field. Evan Ingram is not a good blocker. Pat is not really a good blocker. No. We have the guys to do that. We have the blockers. We have the mammoths. We have the tight end room to be able to move Pat around on the field. We have the lack of wide receiver dependability to be able to move Pat around the field. So do it. And so far, that's what they've been working with. That's what they've been experimenting. Of course, that's just training camp. We'll see if that actually transfers onto the actual field, because we've seen things in training camp where they test out, they experiment, and we never see it on the field.
Never.
So hopefully this is something that actually will be seen on turf, on grass, against opposing competition. That's something we need to see. And Pat Freiermuth could be a massive beneficiary of that, as he should be. Because, again, we know his potential, and he needs to be utilized.
And just coming into his contract, in a contract year, too, this is the last year in his rookie contract, and the guy's going to have to make a big impact.
Yep.
If he wants to stick around with his team, if the Steelers want to even consider keeping him, considering they have Darnell Washington, who as well could very well be heavily involved in the tight end formations.
I agree.
And Arthur Smith's scheme.
Yeah, and today he was used a little more. He was used a lot more than he ever was with Darnell Washington, which is interesting. You know, we know Arthur Smith loves his tight ends. He's going to get his tight ends involved a lot. So get used to seeing the tight end group, guys.
And he's even done the same with Connor Hayward. He's lined him up at fullback. He's put him in tight end. He's moving him around a little bit around the offense as well.
See, that excites me. Not only because of the fact we're finally going to use a fullback, because I think Connor Hayward can be a secret weapon, like a Swiss Army knife. Because he can line up anywhere. He has strong hands. He can be a productive guy.
Since the day he was selected by the Steelers, I've always said that there is a role for Connor Hayward in the NFL.
Uh-huh.
Not as a primary fullback, not as a primary tight end, or anything of that sort. He's a Swiss Army knife type of player. You put him anywhere, the guy can ball, the guy can play. He showcased that he can be a dependable football player. Just utilize his talents.
Yes.
Arthur Smith could be the guy that could unlock that potential for Hayward.
Well, so far he's been lining him up at fullback. I think he even lined up Darnell Washington at fullback, which, I mean, God bless you.
Yeah, that's like the Great Khali and the longest yard right there.
Yeah, dude. I mean, he's
good luck
also
getting past that.
He's also lining up Jack Colito at fullback, who's more of a natural fullback. So the fact that we're starting to use some I form is a good thing for this offense, because how many times were we in short yard situation and we kept going shotgun, we kept going empty, we kept going under center, single back with no extra blocker for Najee specifically.
No.
We couldn't get a single yard for years, dude, until they finally realized, hey, we can actually sneak the fucking football. Swear jar.
Even then, they were so stubborn to do it.
They didn't use a fullback. Now we're implementing such into the offense again, which is a good thing. That brings me happiness just even thinking about it. Moving on, continuing with the offense, we got to talk about the offensive line, because that's a big talking point when it comes to the offense and how they're going to line up certain guys along the entire offensive line, specifically Broderick Jones and Troy Fautanu. Now, the opening offensive line for day one opened such as Dan Moore, Isaac Seumalo, Nate Herbig, James Daniels, and Broderick Jones from left to right.
Yep.
Now, clearly that wasn't going to last. So today, we did see more of Fautanu at right tackle. And when Fautanu was at right tackle, we saw Broderick Jones at left tackle within the first team.
And that just wasn't today. They've done it throughout the past 4 days.
Good.
They did it early on in day one as well. A few reps into the start of training camp, they put Fautanu at right and moved Broderick over to left. So they're already implementing pretty much what they have planned.
Yeah, and of course, Zach Frazier saw some first-team center reps the past couple days. I think Sayamalu was out one of the days.
Yeah, he had a Veterans Day off. Nothing to worry about. No injury.
He had a vet day off, and I think Spencer Anderson got first-team reps.
Yeah.
At left guard.
Yeah, he got involved in there. I know today, I think both Fatanu was at right tackle, and Mason McCormick was a starting left guard for a rep.
Yes.
So they're really implementing a lot of different formations with their offensive linemen, some of the rookies, to kind of get them gelled together and whatnot, which is something that you love to see.
Yeah, they're incorporating as many guys within the first team as possible because, I mean, some of these guys are going to be the future of this line. They clearly view Mason McCormick as a future starter. Depending on Sayamalu or specifically James Daniels' future, they have been saying they're going to move Broderick Jones back over to the left, so they're going to put Fatanu at right, and that's what they've been doing the past couple of days, and they've been keeping them together within the first team, which I think we all agree is the way to go. Day one, week one versus the Falcons. That's what we should do. Yeah, that's what we have to do. There's a reason you drafted them both in the first round back-to-back years.
Especially if Fatano just keeps doing what he's doing in training camp, which has been impressing the coaches, impressing the players, impressing the fan base that's in attendance. You know, and Fatano's just showcasing his athleticism and just how great. I mean, he was at right tackle at one point in for a rep to substitute for Broderick, and he went up against T.J. Watt, and he actually stunned T.J. Watt. He actually got his hands in the middle of Watt's chest and stunned him back.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people can say that they stunned T.J. Watt.
Not a rookie.
Troy Fatanu did that on day 4 of training camp.
Not a rookie.
I mean, like
because Broderick
I'm not trying to overreact here.
No, but I mean that's exactly what you want to hear. Because Broderick Jones was at right tackle for I think it was the first play. It was the first play of 7 shots today. Broderick Jones was in at right tackle. He got hurt. Fatanu stepped in at right tackle. Like you said, stunned T.J. Watt, and then Broderick Jones came back in.
Yeah.
So that's what you want to hear from a guy like Fatanu, our first-round pick. That's exactly what you want to hear. That's a great thing right there. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Did Fatanu see any left tackle time yet?
From what I've seen, I have not heard anything about that yet. I would imagine that he has. I don't know why they wouldn't. Just to showcase his versatility and just to get him involved somehow, some way. Even with the second team, you know, try to get him in there with the left tackle position. But I think, for the most part, I've seen him at right tackle.
Well, according to Joe Rutter here on X 5 hours ago, he said Troy Fatanu has taken occasional snaps with the first team at right tackle. The catch is he has subbed for Broderick Jones while Dan Moore has remained at left tackle. So that's interesting there.
Okay.
But however, there were instances where Broderick Jones moved over to the left while Broderick played right in the first team.
Yeah.
So, again, they're incorporating as many guys within the first team as they can.
Yeah.
You know.
They already have a mindset, you know, Broderick left, Fatanu right, Dan Moore remaining at left. They probably just feel that Dan Moore is a better left tackle than a right tackle.
He is. That was
he
shown
has
last
hardly
year.
any experience at right tackle. I don't know why. They probably don't feel comfortable, even as a swing guy, moving him over to right tackle in his 4th year with the Steelers. Maybe they just feel like keeping him over at the left tackle position, and maybe, you know, Fatanu could be that substitute if he doesn't start, which I don't know why he wouldn't.
I think the plan for the Steelers is, because I don't think they see Dan Moore as a swing tackle, because he hasn't played right tackle ever, pretty much. They tried it last year. It wasn't comfortable. Moving back over to the left. I don't think, in my opinion, I don't think the Steelers view Dan Moore as a swing tackle. So what they're doing is they're putting Troy Fatanu at right. That's where he's going to be. They know Broderick can play both, left and right. Long term, it's going to be Broderick Jones at left, Troy Fatanu at right. However, if there were any unfortunate injury or something were to go down where Fatanu gets hurt or whatever, Broderick Jones would move back over to right, Dan Moore would start at left. They're not moving Dan Moore over to left. They're not moving Fatanu over to left.
I mean, if they have not moved Dan over at right tackle one bit in training camp, why would they do it in an NFL game?
So they are viewing Broderick Jones as that emergency swing tackle, where he will start at left long term, but if Fatanu, if anything were to happen, Broderick goes back over to right, Dan Moore's back at left.
At least for this upcoming year, because I don't see Dan Moore sticking around after this upcoming season.
Yeah.
Who that swing tackle is later on, I mean, that's down the road, but that's something that they may end up doing, unless they see, you know, what Dylan Cook could bring to the table.
True.
As that additional tackle depth piece. Maybe he showcases more solid swing ability in training camp. I don't know.
It's possible. But continuing on with the offensive line, like we stated earlier, there's this new, what Tomlin likes to call a teaching tool, that if any lineman were to commit a false start, they would have to run laps. And that was very evident today with, it's not just offensive linemen, but pretty much just anyone in the position. So, for example, in the past training camps, defensive backs and wide receivers sometimes would drop to the ground, or they would drop footballs, or they would just fall flat on a play, right? They would do 10 push-ups as self-imposed punishment for dropping a ball, for instance. Mm-hmm. In this training camp, offensive linemen run a lap for committing a pre-snap penalty at the behest of offensive coordinator Arthur Smith. So this is all the work of Arthur Smith. So if they were to commit a false start or anything, the offensive lineman got to run a lap. And according to Mike Tomlin, he calls it a teaching tool. And that was used a lot today because Anderson Hardy, Mason McCormick, Troy Fatano, Joey Fisher, and Ryan McCollum all had to run laps. And that was just today. I think Frazier had to run a lap yesterday.
Yeah, I think Darnell Washington, he had a false start too. Even, not just linemen, but just offensive players in general. It's like you do a false start, you're substituted out, and you got to run a lap.
Right.
So these coaches are really trying to hold these players accountable, trying to clean up the mishaps and mistakes early on, because all these false starts that are happening in training camp is a little ridiculous.
Sure, but again, it's early.
It is.
It's nothing to overreact about. Unless, of course, it bleeds over into the actual game. But this is what they say a teaching tool. This is perfect. This is to clean up the mishaps, and there's been a ton of them on the offensive line in that regard, in the penalty regard. So they got to clean that up, and they're trying to by doing these disciplinary tools, these disciplinary actions.
Good.
These disciplinary workouts, I suppose.
Good.
So it's a good thing, man. And I'm hoping within the next couple of weeks that will be cleaned up and we'll see less of that. We'll hear less of that. And then it's knowing that these guys are bettering themselves. Like, this is working, and this is exactly what training camp is all about, is what training camp is for. So the offensive line, man, Troy Fatano is seeing time with the first team. So is Broderick Jones at left tackle. So we are seeing the future of the tackle position, of the offensive line, gel before our eyes there. So we all know what the intention is. We all know what the future is. We all know what their ultimate goal is going to be within the entire offensive line. But they're keeping themselves ready by incorporating so many other guys within the first team. Like we said, Frazier, of course, as the center, Spencer Anderson at left guard, McCormick at left guard. They're keeping Broderick Jones ready at either position in case anything were to happen at any tackle position. For example, Fatanu, something happens, Broderick moves back over to right, Dan Moore can play left. It's just one of those security blankets.
Right.
It's one of those things where they're getting guys just ready. They're getting these guys comfortable. They're getting them tested for a bigger role. And not just them, but a lot of the rookies, as a matter of fact. Like we mentioned, Roman Wilson was running with the ones the past couple of days as the two. Van Jefferson ran as the wide receiver two for the first few days. Then that was improved up by Roman Wilson the past few days. So you see these rookies are getting an earlier role. Payton Wilson absolutely is starting to get time with the ones, which is an exciting thing to talk about because we know the player he can be. We all know his potential. And he's been one of the biggest talking points out of all training camp so far.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much every day before the start of camp, before they start practice, Payton Wilson has been the first player on that practice field every day.
Every single day, man. You got to love this guy. This guy just is all about work. This guy's all about hustle and bettering himself and being great.
The guy's very disciplined. The guy's very determined. The guy just wants to be great. And he was asked about, being the first player out on the practice field. This was his response. He stated, "It wasn't in my head. I don't want to come out here like, hey, I'm the first one out here. I just have a routine that I do every single day. My warm-up takes about 20 to 25 minutes, and I'm not going to cut that. So whatever time I need to be out here to do that, I'm not really the one that's like, hey, guys, I'm first. It's just I have a routine that I live by, and I'm going to do whatever time I need to be here. I'm going to be here."
Gotta love it. This guy is just all about work. This guy's all about achieving greatness.
It's his mentality.
Yeah. And this is exactly what Mike Tomlin had to say about Payton Wilson. He said he's highly conditioned. I think it starts there, and it's showing itself in the form of hustle and finish. And sometimes hustle and finish put you in position to do some of those things. said Tomlin in assessing Wilson's afternoon, which Wilson had himself a day today.
As he did.
He said, "We don't ask a lot of the new guys, but we do ask them to come ready for the work. He is highly conditioned and appears to be in position in that regard." This guy's ready to go. This guy could be a starter right now.
Listen, the guy,
if he had to be.
we all know this man was supposed to be a first-round selection, and we all know why he fell. And he's not letting any, because he got a lot of draft hype. A lot of talk, a lot of hype coming into the NFL draft.
Did you see his 40?
Of course I did. Have you seen his tape?
Of course I've seen his
Yes,
tape.
everybody has seen his tape. I mean, the man is just a flashy player. He sticks out on that football field, and yes, he's a tall dude, but I mean, his play style is freakish. People have compared his play style to Luke Kuechly. Wow, that's wild.
Wow.
And he has not let any of that hype get to his head.
No,
the guy's very mature. Deshaun Elliott has given him praise. He said he's probably the most mature rookie in terms of preparation.
I mean, look how he's showing up to the field every day. He's the first one out there.
And this is what he had to say in regards to his expectations into year one and where he could very well be lined up in year one. This was his response. Wilson said, "I have higher expectations for myself than anyone. Whatever role the Pittsburgh Steelers want to hand me, I'm going to hit it at 110% and try to help this team win a Super Bowl. Whether that's special teams, whether that's starting, or whether that's anything else. I'm going to take that role, and I'm going to do the best that I possibly can."
Guy's a worker. What more could you ask for? The guy just bleeds black and gold, man. You look at him, you watch his tape, you see how he's carried himself through the first couple of days in training camp, how he's flashed on the field, how he's running with the first team now. Which is exciting. Already. And the pads haven't even come on yet. That's a great thing to hear about. That just shows you, man, like the Steelers have full faith in him. He's ready to work. Like Thomas said, he's well-conditioned. He's ready to go for anything. The guy might be a starter. The guy might be a starter opposite Patrick Queen. Atlanta Roberts might be that sub-package guy. I mean, long-term, that is going to be the situation. But Payton Wilson might be a three-down guy right alongside Queen that quick.
Maybe a lot earlier than we anticipated. Imagine that.
Gotta love Payton Wilson, man. The guy is going to be a stud. We all know that. The way he just uses his speed, uses his range, his instincts, how he is in pass coverage, how he is on the blitz, how he's so fast, he can get hurries, he can disrupt plays in the blink of an eye. Like, I'm not even joking.
Guy never gives up on a play. He gives it his all.
The guy is a stud. And I can't wait to see and hear about him with the pads on, and, of course, once preseason comes around, because I swear to God, I think he's going to be one of those guys that flies around the field. Remember Quan Alexander last year in preseason?
Yes, I do.
I feel like we could get very reminiscent of that with Payton Wilson as long as he stays healthy.
Yeah. The man with no ACL.
Like, I know we've been hyping up Payton Wilson all offseason, but for damn good reason. I'm confident. I would put money on it that will age.
I mean, from everything that we've heard, from his draft process with the Steelers to him in OTAs and minicamp, and now early on in training camp, we've heard nothing but high regards, high good things of Payton Wilson from coaches, from players, from fans, from everybody. The guy has all the makings, all the potential to be an absolute stud. I think he will be.
Absolutely.
I am excited for Payton Wilson.
Dude, there was actually a play, I think it was today, where Pat Frymuth caught a nice catch, caught a big play, and then Payton Wilson forced a fumble.
Yes, he did.
Where
the ball is, Wilson is right there.
Oh, he's a ball magnet.
I love it. I love
he
hearing
has a
about
nose for the football, dude. So, Payton Wilson, going to be a stud. We all know it. So, shout out to Payton Wilson for having himself a good first impression, a good first week of training camp. Continuing on with the defense, man. In same regard, like we mentioned, these guys are getting first-team reps. One guy that is getting first-team reps immediately, and will have to take every advantage of it, is undrafted free agent rookie Beanie Bishop. He has been getting a majority of the first-team reps as a slot guy. And we all know Sutton's out for the first 8 games due to suspension. We're going to need someone to step up in that role. They've lined up Elliott. They've lined up KZ at slot. They've lined up a lot of guys, right? But Beanie Bishop seems to be the one that's getting consistent first-team reps. He's a guy that's been shadowing any receiver he goes up against. Guys like Calvin Austin, even with his speed. Guys like a Van Jefferson. Guys like a Quez Watkins. He's been able to keep up and shadow and come away with some plays. He's been a quiet highlight throughout all the training camp thus far.
Yeah, he has. And the slot position with Sutton being suspended, it's still a huge question mark. When it comes to the players competing for that, their recent resume isn't exactly the greatest. And Beanie Bishop, I mean, he's just coming off being undrafted, but, with him being undrafted, he's got quite a story already, being undrafted, fighting for a roster spot, already getting first-team reps at slot cornerback. That's a lot of pressure on his plate with the Steelers giving him that role pretty much out the gate. But Beanie Bishop is a hard worker. He is a guy with a great mentality of it's me versus everybody mentality. And he's going to go out there, he's going to give it his all. He wants this to be his life. He wants football to be his life.
Yeah, of course. And, he's coming from pretty much the ground up, being undrafted, a very a tough situation. And here he is, making the most out of it so far with first-team reps as a slot guy. And I think that's going to remain consistent even when the pads come on. So good things coming from Beanie Bishop. He was easily the biggest favorite out of all the undrafted free agents. A lot of guys were rooting for him, and we all are. We all still are, man. And we're hoping it kind of translates onto the field with his ball skills and what he can bring to the table. And his closing speed, the way he works in the box, the line of scrimmage, in the run game. It's all good stuff. It's all good stuff coming from Beanie Bishop. So maybe this is another Mike Hilton situation. I'm not saying he is the next Mike Hilton. Mike Hilton was really good when he built himself up. Like, he made himself an immediate playmaker. I'm not saying Beanie Bishop is the next Mike Hilton, but I'm getting similar vibes. So we'll see if he can continue, but he's having himself a very good training camp thus far, man.
Yeah, and Cam Sutton, although he's suspended, he's still at training camp. He's still practicing. He's still, doing what he's got to do. He was seen, teaching and tutoring Beanie Bishop in his own right, trying to give him, a thing here and there, trying to teach him a thing here and there, which is something that you want to see. Sutton is a veteran guy in the NFL. He's been around the NFL for quite some time, especially with the Steelers in the slot. So if there's a guy that can give Beanie Bishop pointers at that position, it is Sutton.
Yes. So shout out to Beanie Bishop for himself and stepping up. And I think we're all still going to be rooting for him. And he could be one of those really feel-good stories where he can make a strong push, a strong spot for the 53, and maybe even as a day one starter. We're all rooting for it. But the fact that he's getting consistent first-team reps shows you he's not only producing, but the Steelers have full trust in this guy. And that's going to be a great feeling. That's got to be a confidence booster, and that's just going to make him work even greater to obtain a 53-man roster spot. So shout out to Beanie Bishop. Continuing on with the defense, let's go back to linebacker. How about Patrick Queen? This is a guy that's been showcasing his speed and athleticism and stopping plays and closing plays from even happening. He's having himself a strong start and showing he's been as advertised as a big free agent signing.
Yeah, given the biggest Steeler free agent contract, what was it, like $45 million, something like that?
Something like that,
Whatever, it goes to show, the Steelers hardly spent money in free agency. With Omar Khan, that mentality is changing. Omar Khan's not afraid to spend money on a guy like Patrick Queen. He's coming in, he's showcasing his talents. Only 24 years old, but 4 years in the NFL, has not missed a single game. Recently made a Pro Bowl last year with Baltimore. Now he brings his talents to the black and gold. And like you stated, he has pretty much been as advertised, which is something that you want to hear from the big free agent signing.
Yeah, he's just been showcasing, like I said, speed, athleticism, which has been sorely missed from this linebacker room since Shazier.
And the availability aspect of that, too,
yes,
at linebacker.
Because when you think of, like, I hate to dig up bad memories, guys, but think back to when Shazier went down and all the linebackers we had in between. All of them. And we had a lot of one-year rentals.
I could probably name you all, but we'd be here all day.
A lot of one-year rentals.
Yes.
Pretty much. How many of them really showcased closing speed? How many of them had any athleticism even close to what Patrick Queen or even a Payton Wilson has?
We all thought that was going to be Devin Bush. And he showcased, we knew he was fast, but his closing speed and his athleticism, it was showcased early on, but after the injury, the guy was just never the same.
No, he was.
And it doesn't help that his mentality just completely just went out the window.
He was a pansy of a linebacker, dude. He was afraid to even get in contact with anybody. But outside of him, everyone else was just stiff.
Yeah.
They were locked in the hips. It's like they were running in quicksand. There were many plays where the ball carrier would go around or get away from the linebacker, and I'm thinking to myself, damn, if we had anyone remotely close to athletic, that's a dead play.
Yeah.
That's what Patrick Queen's been showcasing in camp, man. That's a great thing to add back to the linebacker room because that is going to help our run defense so much. Because if we had anyone remotely close to the athleticism that we have now in the linebacker room, half of those big chunk plays that we were unfortunate able to watch the past couple years doesn't happen.
That's what I'm hoping for. With Patrick Queen and Payton Wilson, Atlanta Roberts still has that bulldozer linebacker, that rotational piece, or Payton Wilson be that rotational piece, whatever.
Yeah.
Just this linebacker room, they can put him in different situations, different positions, different schemes, just have a lot of fun with it.
Absolutely.
Making a mismatch, make it unpredictable.
Let's transition over to, how about this sleeper here? When we talked about sleepers a couple days ago for episode 87, this is one that went completely over my head because Edge 4 is still a concern. Edge 4 is still up in the air. It is literally open to anybody.
Yeah, anybody could take that.
Like that is a legitimate competition that everyone will be fighting for because that will secure a roster spot. All we have is Watt, Highsmith, and Herbig. That's all gravy. That's all great. After that, we got nobody. Nobody locked. So they're keeping it open to anybody. But the biggest name that's potentially making a strong push for that is one Kyron Johnson.
Yeah, former Eagle. He has came in here and he has been showcasing his talents. He's a bit undersized. He's about 6 foot, maybe 235, maybe 240. He's not the biggest fellow out there, but out there on the practice field, he has been showcasing his speed out there. He's showcasing, how he can set the edge in the run defense. He's flashing his ability in the pass rush, especially his bull rush. If you were to watch some of his Senior Bowl reps in there, I mean, he was bull rushing some of the top and bigger offensive tackles in there. So
yeah.
He's definitely got that intensity within him. So he's a sleeper.
No, he is. I feel like someone like him, because we see it every camp. We always see one of these studs in the edge room just break out. Like last year was Nick Herbig. He was a 4th-round guy, and he showcased what he can do in very limited snaps, and that did translate to the regular season. In years past, we've seen some of these camp risers, these camp stories transfer to preseason, and then they didn't really last long in Pittsburgh. I'm talking about like an Ola, Daney, a Tuzar, Skipper, if any of you guys remember them. I feel like Kyron Johnson could very well follow in their footsteps, but he's someone that has seen a lot of special teams time in his days with Kansas and, of course, with Philly, the limited time he played. He didn't see a lot of action, but when he did, it was primarily special teams.
And that's what primarily outside linebacker 4 is really going to be about because, I mean, if they wanted an outside linebacker 4, they could have re-signed Marcus Golden.
Right.
They could have signed him up, but he has very little special teams experience, especially as he's getting older. Like, he's in his 30s.
Yeah, he's
not going to want to play special teams.
We're going to need someone with a little more burst, a little more explosiveness, someone with closing speed, someone that has that hustle down the field. That's what Kyron Johnson could bring.
He brings it with his speed. He brings it with his tenacity. Again, undersized, but he's got a lion within that small body.
Yeah, I mean, not just him, but there's like Jacoby Windman, who I think we grabbed up from undrafted free agency. Same thing with
right.
Julius Welshoff. So those are guys that are going to have to make a strong case himself. A David Pearls, who's coming into, I think, his 2nd year as a Steeler, 2nd or 3rd year. So these are guys that are going to be making pushes for that number 4. Maybe a Jeremiah Moon, but, we'll see what happens because that's going to be a quiet camp battle, that many people won't think about or talk about or even think it's that important. But we're going to need someone to fulfill that spot. So it's up to them to really take what they can what they can do on the field and make a strong case for the roster.
Yeah, this is a big opportunity for either one of them.
So it is for Dante Jackson.
Yeah,
because he was acquired with the trade with Carolina to get Deontay, or to trade Deontay.
Get Deontay out of Pittsburgh.
Right, and Dante Jackson is having himself a very strong start to camp. Very strong start. He's actually been one of the better guys, one of the biggest winners out of the first couple days in camp.
Yeah, and every day, and when it comes to training camp, I'm hearing he's getting pass breakups left and right. He's sticking with his targets. I think today he actually got the only interception in training camp off of Justin Fields.
Yeah.
So
not one of Fields' best plays.
But Dante Jackson was able to scout where the ball was. He was able to come down with it.
He was in good position.
At least he didn't drop the football.
Yo, that's a little bit of a shot.
Listen, I'm glad to hear that Dante Jackson's looking good in training camp. He will be the cornerback too, alongside.
Damn.
I'm sorry. He will be the cornerback 2 alongside Joey Porter Jr., JPJ. So that's going to be the cornerback tandem. And he was going to be a guy that we were going to have to keep an eye out for to see how he was going to be as the cornerback 2, because we know his play in Carolina. He primarily had to play the number 1, which he's obviously not.
No,
he's not a number 1. As a cornerback 2, that's more so his motto. That's more so where he could gel well better. And so far, he's been showcasing his talents.
Well, he came in, obviously as a multi-year starter in Carolina, a heavy vet, someone the Steelers are very familiar with because, during his LSU days when he was coming into the draft, I think the Steelers kept a close eye on him. Of course, we went up against Carolina multiple times. This is someone Mike Tomlin constantly referenced every time we went up against Carolina. So this is someone that he and Khan and company were comfortable with acquiring for trading away Deontay. And, he's having himself a good start. He's really making some plays. He's making some good PBUs against Pickens. Like you said, he came away with a pick today. So, him and JPJ could be a decent duo. And plus, remember, when he came in, they restructured his contract. He signed a new contract, no problems.
Yeah.
He's only getting paid, $6 million this year?
Something like that. Somewhere around that range.
Very cheap deal.
I don't know if he's going to be sticking around after this year. That really depends on how he plays, of course. But, off to a good start.
Yeah, that's good to hear because he can't be any worse than Levi.
Yeah, cornerback has obviously been one of our biggest weak links for quite some time this past decade.
Right. And this is what Tomlin said about Jackson. He said, I like his energy. I like his spirit. He's a football lover. He's competitive, but we knew all that about him before he got here. That's why he's here. It's just confirming some of that.
Yeah. Like you literally, Tomlin's been keeping his eye on him pretty much ever since he came into the league.
Yep.
So now this is his time to coach him up, to be his coach, and to try to get the very, very best out of Jackson now.
Right. And one more guy we'll talk about is Corey Trice, because he was someone that a lot of people were looking forward to last year in training camp before he unfortunately tore his ACL during the first day of pads, I believe, last year, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, that was very heartbreaking to hear last year.
But so far, he's been healthy. He's back to full health. He hasn't been working. He hasn't been running drills, running reps without a knee brace, so that's all good to hear. And so far, in terms of what he's been running with reps, it's been more so the second and third team. So they're trying to work him comfortably, because this is essentially his first full year if he stays healthy.
Yeah, it is.
So they're still trying to ease him in to action again.
Yeah, and this is probably a way, the Steelers to test Corey Trice. Try to see if he can work his way back up. Try to see for him to showcase his talents even a bit more. Try to see if he can get back to right where he left off last year, and just see if Trice can step up to the plate.
Yeah, because Trice, man, if he's healthy, he's someone that's going to see a lot of work in the preseason games, 100%.
If he can stay healthy.
Because, I think the Steelers are going to they're going to put a lot of faith in him. I don't know exactly what role he'll play. I still think maybe the James Pierre role. I was thinking more so like that sub-package guy. I don't know if it's going to be as immediate as I thought, but when it comes to like a James Pierre role, more so like a special teams gunner.
Yeah.
That's where he'll get his feet wet. That's where he'll make his plays. But that's where the Steelers are going to get him kind of caught up and get him as many reps as possible because his medicals are panning out. His knee looks fine. So if they can get him as many reps as possible and get him back up to steam and where he left off last year, he could really make a strong case and find a more of an immediate role that he could have gotten last year, but now this year it's really up for grabs for him.
Yeah, for sure. He's going up against guys like Anthony Averett, who earned a roster spot, Ryan Watts, who we selected in the 6th round this upcoming year.
Speaking of Ryan Watts, he was actually the dime backer in some first-team drills.
That's right, he was. I'm glad that you mentioned that.
Because there's a lot of guys that could play that role. There's KZ, there's Elliott, if they want to put KZ up top alongside Minka.
Yeah.
There's Trice, there's Darius Rush, who's having himself a decent start as well. There's a multitude of talent. There's Sutton, obviously. There's a multitude of talent that could play that dime backer role, but they put Watts in there today. Now, it's for like a rep or two, but interesting.
Yeah. Now, it's good to see, them, getting people involved in that dime backer role right there. A guy like Ryan Watts.
I think they're really just trying to incorporate a lot of people in a lot of ways.
And that even includes Ryan Watts coming out of Texas in the 6th round. He's Probably most likely going to be a special teams guy, especially with the way he tackles and his run the fence. You know, he fits special teams to a T. But he is a guy that has some potential that, you know, they could just be trying to unlock and work on and develop with him.
Right. That's a good thing. That's another guy that's going to see a ton of time in preseason. So it's going to be one of those things where we'll see if their roles increase, and we'll see what really happens as the pads come on Tuesday. Like we said, tomorrow is their off day. Then the real action happens come Tuesday, where everything really starts getting real, and they start prepping for the first game, which is a week from Friday.
Yeah.
So it's going to be getting really intensifying, where we'll see how they really incorporate certain guys, if their reps increase, if their volume increases in the first team or second team, or like we said, when Russell Wilson gets back, how decreased is Justin Fields' first team reps going to be? So it's a little unknown now, but we'll get our answers very shortly.
Yeah.
It's going to be very interesting to keep an eye on in those instances, because you know, this team is stacked in a lot of ways. They're giving guys a massive opportunity in many areas. They're incorporating a lot of new things with the new offensive scheme. So it's going to be interesting to see just how they continue to build on what they've done the past 4 days with the pads now on.
Yeah, especially with football season getting closer and closer. Our first preseason game coming up a week from Friday and whatnot. So we'll see what they do. We'll see if they do more of the same. We'll see if they do anything different. We'll see how Russell Wilson does as he recovers from his calf tightness. We'll see how they incorporate more players involved in different schemes and situations and whatnot. So
Right.
week 2 coming up, I'm looking forward to it. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, me too. I'm hoping we can really get out to training camp as soon as possible.
Yes.
We got to find a day.
We got to get out there.
Oh, we will. We will. And when we do, we'll probably be live for that as well. I don't know how long, but it'll be one of those situations where it's just we get there and we'll see what happens.
Of course.
But
We'll figure it out.
yeah, definitely. But so far, training camp's been it's been as advertised. It's been
Very noteworthy.
yes, very much so, and to all the news outlets out there, I mean, shout out to them, because they're the ones that keeping everybody updated and in the know on everything. So shout out to all of them for being there and for getting all the information. So shout out to all of them, seriously.
Of course, without a doubt.
Otherwise, let's see. We got to talk about the Steelers Hall of Honor clash this year. That
Yes.
was announced a couple days ago.
Yeah, Saturday afternoon, they announced it at St. Vincent College in Latrobe. And I got to tell you, this is probably the best class they have done yet since they opened it, and I think it was 2017. This is a legendary class right here.
Legendary class.
The Steelers Hall of Honor class of 2024. First inductee is Big Snack Casey Hampton.
Which, I mean, I know it's only been a couple years, but about time.
I mean, Casey Hampton, he was an impact guy in the middle of that front seven. I remember as a youngster just watching that defense and just seeing this big guy in the middle of that defensive line and just clogging up the middle, stopping the run and whatnot. I mean,
He was the personification of a nose tackle.
yeah.
Of a gap filler. You're not going nowhere.
Casey Hampton was such an underrated player on that defense and just an impact player overall.
So was Jason Gilden. He got inducted finally. He was the prior holder of he was the prior holder before James Harrison broke it.
Yeah.
Before James Harrison broke it, he was the all-time sack leader for the Steelers.
He was the original 92.
Correct.
He was the original 92, one of the more underrated Steelers probably out there.
Yeah. And then Harrison broke it in 2017, I think.
Yeah. No, it was maybe 2016. 2016.
No, because 2017 he left.
Yeah, 2016 he did it against the Browns. Coincidentally, it was the same team where he got his first sack.
Yes.
Can't write it any better.
I know. And, of course, Watt broke it in 6 years.
Yeah.
Because Watt's a different machine.
And Watt's just going to continue to extend it to a point no other Steeler's going to touch it.
Yep.
It's just how it's going to be.
And Fast Willie Parker was also inducted, who he will be getting inducted.
Willie, man.
He still holds the record for the longest touchdown run in Super Bowl history.
75 yards, and he gives big credit to Jerome Bettis for scheming that play up.
Yep.
Alan Faneca goes up there, and he gets the block, and Fast Willie just uses his legs and goes all the way up in Super Bowl 40.
Perfect.
Fast Willie, underrated back, man. He came in undrafted and took the load when Bettis and Deuce Staley, they were just pretty much
Getting hurt.
Yeah, and their time was running out with their careers. And Fast Willie came in and he took the rock and literally ran with it.
Yeah, somebody that wasn't a typical Steelers running back, a typical Steelers running back build, and boy, was he an electric guy. I mean, he was only here for a couple years, but I mean, he still made his case.
He's still top 3 in Steelers rushing leaders.
Do I have his jersey? I don't think I have.
I don't think you do.
I don't think I have a Willie Parker jersey.
I don't think you do.
That's got to change.
Yeah, that does have to change.
Let's go to eBay. eBay always reliable. Remember when you could just only order things on eBay? Like Amazon didn't exist.
Yeah, right.
Temu, whatever the hell. If you ever wanted anything, you just had to get it for eBay. Remember that? I remember those days.
I honestly can't remember the last time I bought anything off eBay, if I have to be real.
I couldn't tell you.
How many Steelers jerseys did you buy off eBay? Tell me. I know you. Did you buy a Heath Miller jersey off?
I did.
Was it Heath Miller?
It was a
Brett Kiesel was the Bumblebee one,
It was
right?
a Heath Miller Reebok and a Brett Kiesel Bumblebee.
That's it?
I love that jersey.
You didn't buy anything else?
I'm pretty sure I did. I just don't know. I have to go through my collection.
I think I bought a couple.
No, I bought a Holmes jersey, but when I bought it, I didn't know it was a youth.
Do you still fit that?
I'm not going to try.
Do you have it here?
Yeah.
Can I get it?
Go get it.
You're going to put it on.
I'm not putting it on.
You're going to put it on.
I'm not putting it on.
You're going to put it on.
No, I'm not.
Hold on. Let me find it.
There's a large Willie Parker jersey, Reebok, for $45. I'm not a large. I'm more of a medium. I need a medium. Where's it at? I might be ordering a Willie Parker jersey. $20. That's it? Bet. I might be ordering a Willie Parker jersey. It's not that Stitch shit, but I don't care. It's Reebok. It's Reebok. Dude, I can buy this for $20.
Yo, Reebok.
I'm buying this.
Reebok better than Nike. All right.
I'm buying this.
Reebok material is so much better than Nike. Here's the Cordell Stewart.
It's a Cordell Stewart. I said Holmes.
Oh, I thought it 10. I'm sorry. I thought it. You can still fit this though, right?
I don't know. This is, by the way, guys, this is my first Steelers jersey ever. I was like 10 years old.
Yeah, you see, there's still meaning to bringing it out. Yeah. Hold on, ain't this a youth?
Yes, because I was 10.
Okay. I'm asking, okay? Well, I couldn't find the Holmes. Or maybe
It's
I'm
in there.
Maybe I'm just not looking hard enough.
It's
My
in
bad.
there.
Hey, I'll put it back.
It's in there.
My fault.
It's in there. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna buy this Willie Parker jersey live, dude. I guess sign in. I forget. Do I even have an account?
You're really doing it live on the air.
Hold on. You have everything on your phone nowadays. I only use the laptop. I only use the laptop for notes and whatever. Typically, I'm always just on my phone. I don't know my password, dude. I have like several passwords. Oh, it worked.
I'm not finding it.
You can't find. I bet I can find it.
I'm not finding it. There's your Villanueva.
Ha, my Villanueva.
I forgot you had that.
So did I. I'm a big supporter of the military. I had to get a Villanueva jersey. It's that tribute.
Villanueva was awesome. And he wasn't lying about that locker room either.
No. Fuck
Dude,
it.
you don't. Wait. There it is.
I have a Holmes jersey, dude.
I got it. Holy crap, this is tiny.
I know it's tiny. All right, guys. I just ordered a Willie Parker jersey live on the air.
Okay, for episode 88 of the Steelers Culture Podcast, shout out to Lynn Swan. There it is.
Shout out to Emmanuel Sanders. Shout out to Darius Hayward Bay.
Good special teamer. Good special teamer.
Who's another 88? Who was it?
Oh, Muth.
Oh yeah.
Of course.
I'm not used to that being on a tight end.
No.
Yeah, this is Holmes. I think he's already in the Hall of Honor.
I believe so. I believe you're correct.
I'm not sure, but I think he is. Yeah, it's my boy Holmes. Yes, sir. That's how you be great.
Can you fit it?
I'll try.
Give it a shot.
It's gonna be tight.
You're skinnier than me. I know I ripped that thing.
I can already. Okay.
It's Reebok. It's not like Nike. If it was Nike, then yeah, you rip it.
I actually fit it. It's a little small.
Dude, that's like a perfect fit for you. There you go.
I fit a youth large Antonio Holmes jersey.
There we go.
Hell yeah.
We solved the biggest mystery out there, all right?
Yeah. Landry Jones. Oh, God, you have Landry Jones? Oh, my God.
I have,
Bro,
listen, man.
why would you get that?
Listen, I didn't buy it. It was a Christmas gift. I have an away Chase Claypool. I didn't ask for it either.
Bro, what?
Yeah.
That's
It
embarrassing.
is capturing dust in the back of my closet.
Extreme medium.
We didn't finish the Hall of Honor class. No, we got one more inductee.
Yes.
We got one more inductee.
And, of course, it is one of the greatest defensive coordinators of all time. It is the guy mostly responsible for such a legendary and, in my opinion, underrated defense. When you think of great defenses, you got to think of the 2008 defense.
Yeah, who all knows that picture, that graphic that put up on Super Bowl 43? Like all firsts
Well, not
in the
just
NFL?
that, but, of course, the magazine cover of everybody.
Yes. I mean, dude, it wasn't just a 2008 defense specifically. Like, that whole 2000 defense was just dominant. It was, like, number one defense for how many years?
Yeah, and it really started when they signed James Ferrier, and then they got, of course, Joey Porter Sr., I guess officially now Sr.
Yeah.
And then, throughout the years, they would just get, like, Kiesel in the 7th round, right?
Yeah, and then, of course, Troy in the first round.
Aaron Smith, Casey Hampton.
Lamar Woodley, and then James Harrison came into his own when Joey Porter Sr. left. And, like, Lawrence Timmons came in, like, LT. Like, my God, my goodness.
Larry Foote.
Of course. Ryan Clark. How could I forget Ryan Clark?
Of course, man.
Ike Taylor, Uncle Ike.
Yeah, 4th round pick, man.
Deshae Townsend. I can name them all.
Lafayette. I mean, wow. But, yeah, Dick LeBeau is being inducted into the Steelers Hall of Honor.
Dick LeBeau, man.
Very well deserved. Very well deserved.
One of, if not the greatest defensive-minded head coach of all time.
Coordinator or head coach?
Just coach overall.
Oh, about to say, 'cause
Just coach.
he wasn't a great head coach.
Oh, I know that. Everybody knows that. But, I mean, he
86 years. He'll be 87 in September.
and he's still kicking, man. Nothing can take down Dick LeBeau.
Unbelievable.
That man is a legend.
Unbelievable.
That man is an icon.
Yes, he is.
That man left an absolute major impact. He will never be forgotten. His impact will never be forgotten whatsoever.
No, not at all.
And congratulations to every single one of them for being inducted into the Hall of Honor class of 2024. All left an impact on and off the field. All were big fan favorites of Steeler Nation.
Yeah, 3 of them were massive reasons for 2 championships. Unfortunately, Jason Gilden couldn't get one when he was part of that Pittsburgh defense in the 90s. I blame one specific quarterback for that, but that could have changed if we just made a certain pick for a Pitt kid 10 years prior.
Yeah. There's a story behind that,
But
too.
we didn't.
Yeah.
Instead, we got the other Pitt guy that we got to move on from. I will not mention his name, but we got Russell Wilson.
Yes.
So, yeah. God. Anyway, good times and bad times, man. And this season's going to be fun. It's going to be great. A lot of new cool stuff coming to the channel. As you guys saw with the new intro we just published. A lot more cool stuff coming to the channel. New sponsors as well, so you guys can look forward to all that. And, of course, live streams are coming more rapidly. That's going to be a massive mainstay for the channel. And, of course, live reactions, watch parties, whatever you want to call it.
Indeed.
That's going to be fun.
Indeed.
1 week from Friday, we can finally watch football again.
Yeah.
And maybe half of this,
Still
most
football.
of this, can all come to fruition from what we've heard so far in training camp.
Hey, fingers crossed. But if anything told me from last year's preseason, don't get too overhyped.
Yeah, let's not overhype and let's not overreact. Let's just hold ourselves to a bare minimum and just hope it all works out.
Yes.
That's all I gotta tell myself. Is like, whatever you see, just wait it out.
I think last year showed a lot of us, like, okay, like let's
I'm
simmer
out of
down a
tea.
bit. Let's simmer down a bit. Let's hold our expectations back a bit. Because last year was fucking bullshit. I'm sorry. How do you do that? How do you do that in the preseason? You don't even give 1% of that into the regular season.
Because they were going up against UFL talent. or USFL, whatever it's called. I don't even know what it's called anymore.
Yeah, and then you go up against a Super Bowl team week 1. I mean, 1 yard. You know that graphic?
Yes.
199 and 1.
I can say confidently that's not going to happen again.
Hopefully not anytime soon.
No. Well, we got the Falcons to open up the season, so. Granted, we got to wait a lot longer for that, but, hey, we actually, you know what? Holy we got football this week.
Yeah, Thursday. Thursday night football, technically. Hall of Fame game.
That's unbelievable.
Texans and Bears.
That means this week there will be a football game. Not every week, because the week after preseason and before the week 1 is a off week. But essentially, every single week going forward, there will be some sort of football on our television.
Yeah, whether that's NFL or college football.
Yeah. Holy God.
So, yeah, there will be football.
Holy shit.
Until whenever the Super Bowl is, which is what? Mid-February, whatever.
I can't grab a quarter. Yeah, holy, wow.
Holy jeez.
That just blew my mind, man. So, starting this week, there will be football on national television all the way till the Super Bowl.
Yes. Good. Good.
Unbelievable. The Olympics. I don't care for the Olympics. I never cared. I'll be real with you. I never watched the Olympics. Not even as a kid. I just never cared for it. Never. Not a fan.
It's something that never interested me. It never did.
No.
I know it comes and goes every 4 years. These guys train their asses off for it. It's just, respectfully, it's just not my cup of tea. I just don't watch it.
I don't either.
So,
well, I'll be real with you. I don't have much time for television in general.
well, there's not really.
I'll be real with you. I don't watch the only TV I watch is when there's a new show that I'm interested in, which is recently The Boys. I just finished season 2. I just got him started on it today. Only television I watch is any new show I'm getting into, or football, or my wrestling.
Yeah.
Or that's it. That's literally it.
But like when it comes to actually watching live television, like for anything, like we'll just watch like pre-recorded shows. Like it could be a Family Guy, or it could be one of the wrestling shows, or football or whatnot.
I'll watch just random whatever.
That's it.
I'll watch random whatever.
American Dad, right? Like
yeah. I'll watch other sports whenever I find the desire to.
Television does not hit like it used to.
No.
It just doesn't.
No.
Nothing does, actually.
No, I mean, I'll be real with you, dude. Cable is like, it's not dead, but it's dying.
With all these streaming platforms, yeah. I mean, like you get them for so much cheaper, and you get a better deal out of it. I mean, like
everything is on streaming now.
So how many people are going to be willing to pay how much for cable when?
The only reason I have YouTube TV, the only reason I have YouTube TV is because Sunday Ticket. Otherwise, most of my TV would be via streaming platforms, which, I mean, I already have. YouTube TV
is a streaming platform, so yeah.
That's it. And that's all I need.
That's. I mean, YouTube TV has everything.
Like, I'm getting Sunday Ticket again this year.
In YouTube TV, you have unlimited, DVR space. You can pre-record whatever you want. They can record every single episode. Like, you don't miss anything.
Yeah.
Whatsoever. Whatever you are into, they have it for you.
Yeah.
Right there and then.
Still, are you guys streaming Steelers Texans? Yes. Next Friday, yes. In fact, I already have the thumbnail ready. I just got to get this stream set up and everything. In fact, here's a sneak peek at the thumbnail. It's not really a sneak peek. It's the actual freaking.
It's the actual thumbnail.
I didn't export it.
Oh, jeez. Dan.
Hold on, I'll export it now.
No, you don't have to. You don't have to.
Dominic, we're doing great. Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys had a great weekend.
We're doing good.
Hope you guys had a great weekend. It's tomorrow's unfortunately the start of a new week, a new work week for a lot of us, unfortunately. But I mean, that's just the reality of the world. That's the reality of adult life. But yeah, this happens.
Yeah, weekend comes and goes, and then you're back to grinding.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just how it be. That's just how it is.
Uh-oh.
Nathan says, what'd you do?
Nothing, just.
Okay. Nathan says, Dan and Rob, I'm going to Heinz Field when we play the Bills on August 17th.
Oh, so you're going to that preseason game?
That's week 2, yeah.
Hell yeah,
So you will see Mitch Trubisky and Chase Claypool go up against the Steelers defense.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I want to watch that.
I hope Mitch throws I guarantee you Mitch throws an interception. I guarantee you.
All right, that's good. Beanie Bishop's getting a pick 6, undoubtedly. That is my prediction.
Oh, man, I hope you have a good time, though. And, yes, it's Heinz Field.
Yeah, it is always Heinz Field. That's why in the intro we made showed Heinz Field. It will never be what it's called now, not in my opinion. I am never going to let that go. I don't care that it's the name for the next 20-something years. I don't care. The name of it is Heinz Field. It will always be Heinz Field, which is why this is still up here. Which is why I have a T-shirt, which I might be wearing next week, that says Heinz Field forever.
Yeah. That's just what it is.
I will never forgive Art Rooney II for it. For going for the money.
It's all about the money.
Michigan-based insurance company, whatever they were.
I gotta go with the Pittsburgh tradition, dude. John Hines.
Yeah, exactly. Go to Pittsburgh. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Anyway, yeah, let me get this thumbnail. There we go. And
Speaking of money, Jordan Love.
Oh my God, what are they doing?
Jordan Love, dude, $55 million annually.
The hell are they doing?
Yeah. Dude, that's wild. Off 1 year, which was an impressive first year, but like, that's all you had to do? That's all you had to do.
Dude, he played 1 year. 1 year.
Yeah.
And he's getting $55 million.
He's getting as much as Joe Burrow and Trevor Lawrence. The only one deserving of that is maybe Joe, though he's been injury prone lately and looking like Cody Rhodes.
He played 1 year. 1 year.
And he's gotten the biggest contract in NFL history for a quarterback.
I know why teams do it. They don't want to go into quarterback purgatory. They don't want their quarterbacks to lead. I get it. It's just awful business. I'm not paying a quarterback $50 million if they're not bringing home a championship. Bring home the championship first, and then you get $50 million. That's what the Chiefs did. Now the Chiefs are getting Patrick Mahomes for a bargain at this point.
Yeah.
Every single quarterback that has over $50 million doesn't even have a Super Bowl. If you're not bringing home a Super Bowl, you're not getting $50 million. I am not sacrificing my future because I hope you can do it.
If I can find the list.
Teams are stupid. It's awful business. I know it's the way it is nowadays, but it's awful business. They're putting themselves in cap hell because they hope they can get a Super Bowl. At least get one before putting yourself in financial crisis.
Okay, so on a per year basis for quarterbacks, this is their salary. Jalen Hurts, $51 million. Won playoff games, went to a Super Bowl, actually had a good performance in that
At least
game.
he went to a Super Bowl. He didn't bring one home.
Could get back. We'll see. Lamar Jackson, $52 million. As soon as the AFC Championship game comes or the playoff comes about, I mean, the guy's as quiet as he can be. Like Lamar Jackson just doesn't show up.
As quiet as a quiet kid in the back of a school plotting something.
Okay, going forward, Justin Herbert, $52.5 million.
He's in an awful situation, but he hasn't led them to anything. It's not all his fault. He has no targets. Who is his number one?
Yeah, all his targets are gone. I think that might be Led McConkey now.
Who's his head coach now?
The other Harbaugh, Jim.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. He is back.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. This is going to be a fun season.
Yeah. Moving forward, Jared Goff, $53 million. He got that big contract after what he did in Detroit.
Jared Goff, sure.
I mean,
honestly, man, if
see, I try to look at from a Lions perspective. I try to look at it because they traded away Stafford for this guy, knowing the bargain of a contract that they had to take initially from what the Rams gave Goff.
And look at the season they had. Look at the season they had.
And what Goff has done since he's came to Detroit. I mean, he's played a lot better than I thought he would. Like, he's been actually playing very well. He's connecting with St. Brown. He's connected with the targets. He's actually been a very reliable quarterback for them.
If Dan Campbell wasn't such a hard ass, they might have won it all.
Yeah, they might have. So I can understand why they gave him or wanted to keep him at that price.
I say Goff.
Because from the circumstances that Goff was dealt with being traded from LA to Detroit and Detroit being a shit show when he first showed up, Goff has pretty much showcased what he's needed to do.
Now, I know Goff was awful in that Super Bowl, but he did lead the Rams to a Super Bowl.
He did.
So, yeah, he's probably the one worth it.
Yeah. Tua Tagovailoa, $53.1 million. He got it pretty much the same day as Jordan Love got his contract.
Didn't he have like 2 good years?
He didn't even hit 30 touchdowns yet in his career.
No, that's because they run the ball a lot. A lot.
He had 4,600 passing yards.
That's incredible.
But 30 touchdowns, not yet. Still could.
No, he led the league in passing last year, and he didn't have 30 touchdowns. That's a testament to how diverse, how balanced their offense is.
That's what Mike McDaniel's all about.
Yeah.
That's what it was in San Fran. That's what he's bringing to Miami. That's what he continues to bring to Miami. So, and Tua has been doing a lot better.
He's a strong starter. But, yeah,
53.1.
I wouldn't pay him that.
53.1, it's a little too much.
I wouldn't pay him that.
Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence, and Jordan Love, $55 million.
Well, Joe Burrow deserves it just because the Bengals refused to fucking help him. Because the Bengals just want him to die for some reason. And he led them to the Super Bowl. Like, he led them to their first playoff win in 30 years.
Not just that, but that same year, he took them to the fucking Super Bowl.
I know. Swear to God.
Like, they couldn't even win a playoff game.
Listen, I don't know if any of these quarterbacks are worth what they're worth, but it's just the market. But if you're talking market, I think Burrow deserves it because, I mean, he single-handedly turned that Bengals franchise around.
Can't really deny it.
Burrow is the second best quarterback in the league when he's healthy, when he has a line.
He showcased that during that Super Bowl run.
Yeah. Trevor Lawrence is a joke. What is that? What is that?
I remember 2 years ago seeing that Jags team. I think it was Doug Peterson's first year.
Yeah, they made that big comeback against the Chargers.
It was a solid season. It was a season where, the team was growing. They were gelling with Doug Peterson, and Trevor Lawrence had a very competent coach, for the first time in his NFL career.
Bro, he has a 20-30 record. Now, I know wins aren't a quarterback stat. It's a team stat. But he has led he as a quarterback has led his team to no greater than 9 wins.
Yeah, that's not good. From a first overall pick, from a generational talent, you expect more.
No, not at all. Not at all. 50, how much? 55.
55.
Bro, no, that's a joke.
Yeah.
That's a joke.
I don't know.
58 interceptions. I'm sorry, I'm wrong. That's touchdowns. 39 interceptions.
Still, I don't know how Trevor Lawrence does throughout the rest of his career, but last year I felt like he digressed.
Yeah, me too.
Which ain't really good, but the Jags don't want to be in quarterback purgatory.
Well, now they got a new coach, don't they?
Head coach?
Not coach. What am I talking about?
No, Doug Peterson's still the coach.
Yeah, not head coach. I'm talking wide receiver and general manager.
I don't remember.
Who's the wide receiver one now? Because
That's Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk's always been the number one.
Didn't they draft someone?
Was it
Brian Thomas? Yes.
Okay.
So he has a new wide receiver one.
Okay.
So maybe that elevates his game.
Oh, and they signed Gabe Davis too. Yeah. So, and yeah, Jordan Love, $55 million.
Yeah, that's a joke. That's a joke.
Yeah.
That's a joke. Yeah, Jordan Love and Trevor Lawrence are joke contracts. Even Tua. Burrow deserves it. Goff deserves it. Lamar, to an extent, deserves it. That's about it. That's about it. No one else is really worth. Jalen Hurts, maybe. That's about it. Like, that's crazy. These teams, man, are. See, I don't want to. That's a double-edged sword comment.
Yeah, I know where you're going.
I was going to say, I'm glad we don't have to pay a quarterback that money, but at the same time, I wish we could, because maybe we'd have 7 by now.
Yeah. See, that's going to be interesting when that time comes.
For who?
Whoever the next franchise is.
For who?
I don't know who. It might not be Justin Fields. It damn sure as hell ain't going to be Russell Wilson.
No.
Not at his age.
Dolphins almost had to pay Hawk Tua, and he deserves to be paid. The amount is elevated because of the secrecy of good quarterbacks. I mean, true. You're not wrong. It's just the market, and yeah, I mean, good quarterbacks are hard to come around, as we know. I get it. I just think from a business aspect, if they're not bringing anything home, they're not getting that. But at the same time, I get why teams do it, because if they don't pay them, then they're going to be without a good quarterback, and thus they're going to be in a worse situation than they were before they had them. So I get it.
Yeah.
It's just it's a gamble.
What's your
for the most part
for them? What they're investing into, how much they're investing into, they just better hope that the player can bring them what they're seeking.
Exactly.
But like that's a lot of teams that are paying 50+ mil for these quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And they all can't win a Super Bowl.
Trevor Lawrence has 35 fumbles over the last 3 years. Fields has 38 over the same 3 years. Oof.
Sheesh.
Oof. One's getting paid $55 million. One's getting paid $4 million. Granted, they're in a rookie contract.
4 or 5 mil.
He's in a rookie contract, but still. Wow. Good Lord. Would you pick Fields or Lawrence? Probably Lawrence.
Yeah.
If I'm being real with you.
He's not as turnover heavy.
Yeah.
That's still a concern for Fields, which we haven't seen yet from Fields in training camp.
He's a better quarterback. He's a better I would take Lawrence, but I don't think he's elevated the Jags to greater success. So I mean, between the two, I'm just taking Lawrence. This is partly why Khan hasn't been giving out big contracts. We will have to pay a quarterback next season a much bigger contract. Yeah, whether that's Wilson or Fields, or it could be anyone else. Lord knows. At some point, yeah, the Steelers are going to have to pay a quarterback big money. I would like for them to take advantage and get something without having to pay a quarterback big money, but I mean,
yeah.
When was the last time that happened? The only time that ever happens nowadays is when these guys are on rookie contracts. Look at Burrow. He went to the Super Bowl on a rookie contract. Look at Hurts, rookie contract. Mahomes won one on a rookie contract.
He did.
The good ones that lead teams to championships or to near championships, like, there's a reason they're getting paid. And those are the ones that are truly deserving because they have elevated their teams to legitimate success.
Hell, Lamar hasn't taken him to a Super Bowl, but he has won MVP through his rookie contract.
Yeah. He won MVP in his rookie contract.
So he could also be put in that category. Not much playoff experience, hasn't gotten to a Super Bowl yet.
Lamar deserves.
But I mean, Lamar's done things that a lot of people thought that he was not going to do in the NFL level.
It's also his style. Like, yeah, pay him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But no, yeah, to achieve a championship with a quarterback without paying them massive money, you literally got to have the luck of a Nick Foles, or you got to draft someone and hope they get you a championship while on a rookie contract. That's just the way. It's the way it is nowadays. It's his problem, not ours. Panthers are stuck with Johnson. Deontay? Who brought up Deontay? I just read Deontay Johnson's having issues at Panthers camp.
Yeah, I seen a video where he was running around the end zone and the ball was in his hands and he dropped it.
Yeah, he was open on, I think it was like a zig route. He was open and he dropped it in his hands.
I mean, like, that's going to happen.
Where did we see that one before?
That's going to happen, Panthers fans. I mean, just be prepared.
I'm not going to say nothing because he's not a Steeler no more. Good luck to him. I wish him all the success. But like he said, he's not our problem no more. Hope he finds all the success, man. Seriously, I do. Do you think Tomlin's being stubborn with Dan Moore getting reps over Broderick at left tackle? In a way, yes, but it's also because they view Broderick as the swing guy and not Dan Moore.
I mean, here's a way to think about it. Broderick has the most swing experience on the team right now.
Correct.
Dylan Cook doesn't. Dan Moore sure as hell doesn't. Fatana's a rookie.
So, Broderick Jones is going to be the starting left tackle. And if he isn't, I'm going to throw a fucking tangent. But Broderick Jones is going to be the starting left tackle. Let's not get that twisted, or at least I hope I'm correct on that. I really do. He's going to be the starting left tackle. But the reason Dan Moore is still getting reps over is because Troy Fatanu is moved at right. Thus, if Fatanu gets hurt, they can move Broderick over to the left and keep Dan Moore. Or they can move Broderick over to right and keep Dan Moore at left. Mm-hmm. That's their insurance policy. At least that's what I'm thinking. They're viewing Broderick as that swing guy without benching him.
Yeah.
Dan Moore will still be a bench player, but he'll only play if Broderick has to move over to right for any reason. But should he be getting reps over Broderick? No. No. You know what your future is. Dan Moore's been a starter the last 3 years. It doesn't matter about him not getting a certain amount of reps. Maybe it is because of a new scheme and they want him adjusted in that.
That's probably a causal reason, yeah.
But he's been a starter on this line for the past 3 years, so it's not a matter of inexperience or nothing there. You know where you're going with the line, so keep Broderick as your first team guy for the most part.
Yeah.
That's how it should be.
Yeah, you're slowly implementing Fatanu in as the right tackle right there with the first team. So it's like, just go full throttle with it. You had very high standards, high expectations for Fatanu through the draft process. He fell to you to 20. You selected him, and you have a spot that you want to put him at. You're getting him in there slowly but surely. Just go full throttle at this point.
Right. RK says, sorry, man, I just tuned in and you probably covered it. Any chance Mike T created a phantom calf injury to give Russ that vet respect and to see Fields get that work with the ones? Wow, I don't think so. I don't think he or Russ made up an injury.
I don't know why they would do that.
I get if it were to give Fields more work with the ones, but why not just give Fields work with the ones one day and then Russ the next and then vice versa? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a simple explanation. Like, you can just do that.
Yeah, I think Russ is hurt. I think he did hurt himself during the sled pushing during the new conditioning test they have, but no, I don't think they made up the injury just so that Fields gets to work with the ones. He could easily just rotate their days or rotate their reps throughout a certain day or so. But
I don't think Mike T needs to give him a rest day to give him that vet respect. I think he's got more respect for him already.
No.
So,
And we don't need these quarterback vet rest days. We don't.
especially, since they're new here.
They're new here. It's a new scheme. We don't need these quarterbacks with rest days like Ben used to get.
Yeah,
no.
like get them involved.
No.
Get them involved, get them working.
Yeah, come on.
Let them communicate with the coaches and the players and have that chemistry going.
Why would Wilson want a vet day? I mean, I don't know. I didn't pay attention to his old camp days in Seattle and Denver, but why would Russ want to sit out? Makes no sense.
Well, he's got a huge chip on his shoulder. He wants to prove to Dallas Brown. He wants to prove to himself, to the players, to the Steelers, to the fan base, that hey, I can still go.
Well, he's working with our targets all offseason on his own time. Why would he take time off when it really is his job to work with the guys now?
Yeah.
Like, come on. I'd take Fields at $4 million over T-Law at $55 million all day. At $4 million, I mean, if you include the contract, yes, I'm taking Fields. But in production, I'm taking Lawrence. Otherwise, yeah, I mean, if you include the contract, yeah, I'm taking Fields.
Yeah.
Let's see where we at. At training camp yesterday, these kids in front of me kept screaming Pickett instead of Pickens. It's a mishap. It happens. In fact, one thing, I have a camp story for you guys. And I don't know if it's going to be the same when we go to camp at some point this year.
Okay.
But autographs. A lot of reason kids like to go to camp with their families is to see the players. They get their autographs. They get to meet them and all that. It's a fun time. Because I was that kid. I was 15, but I was a kid. I remember, man, going up to the gate or whatever they had when they're coming out.
It was like a barricade, yeah.
Yeah, when they were coming out of the workout machine, you could see through the windows where they had treadmills and workout benches and anything else that they were working out with. They came out. I remember James Conner, was signing autographs, and I remember essentially bull rushing, moving people out of my way.
Yeah.
Because I wanted an autograph. So I have the football somewhere. I don't know where
It's right there. It's up there.
Where?
You talking about the gold football?
Oh, that one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is, yeah.
I don't know if it's still there. This was the football. It was August 3rd, 2017. TJ Watt's rookie year. This is the football we took to training camp, and we got a bunch of autographs. I think that's James Conner.
That one?
I think that's James Conner.
You might be right. I
Probably
think that
can't tell. This one right here
I don't know if you can see that.
in the corner is James Conner. That was James Conner's autograph. That was the first autograph I got, and I swear to God, when he took the football, I don't know. I just melted. Like I felt like I wasn't there.
You were levitating, right?
Yeah. Let's see. Who else is on here? I can't even read half of this. I know this. Like out of every single autograph, this one, which you can't barely see,
Okay.
that, sirs, ladies and gentlemen, is TJ Watt. Right there. That's TJ Watt. And out of all the autographs on this football, that's the one with the most fade.
Yeah, let me see, because I think didn't Ross Cockrell sign this?
Yes.
Who remembers Ross Cockrell?
Ross Cockrell.
Hold on. Hold on. You can't take my football?
Mike Mitchell.
Oh, Chris Boswell's right here.
Bud Dupree's on there somewhere.
Yeah, Mike Mitchell.
I think Dirty
Which one
Red's on
was
there.
it? Yeah, you might be right, yeah.
That's Mike Mitchell.
Yeah.
Dirty Red's right here because of 44.
That's pretty cool. Dirty Red. I forgot he signed that ball, yeah. I don't know which one that one is.
Couldn't tell you.
Can't really tell.
Half of these I don't even remember, but I know that was Watt, which is unfortunately faded. This was James Conner. I forget who was 20 at the time.
I couldn't tell you.
Couldn't tell you either. But yeah. Yeah, that was 7 years ago. 7 years ago.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Really cool. But yeah, we have in the background, I mean, it's neat. It's neat. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that same training camp, I actually had I brought two football cards. It was a James Conner college football card and a Bud Dupree college football card. I was able to get both of them to sign their individual college cards. I actually still have them in a card slip in my closet. So
Hell yeah.
that's pretty cool.
Hell yeah. That is really cool.
Autograph on card right there. I might send that to get graded. I'm not sure.
You should.
You know,
Is it one of them sleeves?
Yeah.
Good.
It's one of the protective sleeves. I haven't touched it since then, literally. So, I don't know. I might send it to get graded just to have a personal, thing to have, I guess. I don't know.
Cam Sutton was 20 and 17. I thought was he? No, he was.
I thought he was 34.
Yeah, that was his rookie year. He was 34.
Was that his? Yeah, it was. Yeah.
He was drafted in 2017. He was third round pick. Now I gotta search it.
Yeah, he was 34 initially, his rookie year. Then he switched to 20 because Edmonds took 34 when he was drafted in 2018.
Who was 20 in 2017?
I don't know.
20 was
He even make
Robert Golden.
Oh wow.
That's Robert Golden's
Oh wow,
autograph.
that's right. That's right because he was 21.
No, he was 20. 21 was Joe Hayden.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because Joe Hayden bought the number off when he signed.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. Robert Golden was 21 initially. Joe Hayden got signed. He bought it off of Robert Golden, who took 20. And then when Robert Golden left after 2017, Sutton upgraded to 20. And then after Mike Mitchell left, thankfully,
Joe Hayden took back his 23.
yes. Look at us. Pittsburgh jersey number historians over here.
You want us to keep going? We'll keep going. We can keep going.
Edmonds got drafted in 2018. Yeah, that's when he took 34. 23, Hayden going 21. No, they swapped. They swapped. Golden had 20. Hayden had 21. In his first year, Hayden had 21.
Yeah, I remember we signed Joe Hayden. I thought we were legit.
I thought we were going to Super Bowl, dude.
I thought we were legit.
I was like, Patriots, you're going down.
Yeah. Could have. But,
Why are people making a big deal over Najee not wanting to speak to the media? Like, what the fuck? He has the choice. Najee's never spoken to the media. Just let Najee work. You know what I'm saying? Let Najee work. This might be his last year. He's determined. He probably has a chip on his shoulder now. He's probably a little butthurt, as he should be, because he's the only one working his ass off outside of Warren and Pickens on the offense, at least in recent years.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with Najee not wanting to speak to the media. Honestly, I can't really blame him. He just wants to be here. He wants to put in the work. He wants to grind and just do what he needs to do.
Yeah, let him work, man. If he wants to get that big contract, let him work, and I hope he gets it. It might not be from us, but it'll be from someone. Twins ready for football. You already know it. Oh yeah, I didn't even show you guys the thumbnail. Yeah.
Yeah, before we get out of here.
Yeah. So yeah, we will be live for the Steelers Texans game next Friday. Not this Friday, next Friday. As you guys know, I'll be preseason. I'm excited. I can't wait. And that's the thumbnail. We already got it ready. I don't know if Stroud's gonna play, but I'm just gonna put him there anyway.
That Stroud's not playing. Why would they play Stroud?
Because
Fields is playing. They'll just play Davis Mills.
Dude, that's weird. Look at that.
Yeah.
Like, who would have thought that could have been a reality like 2 years ago?
Not me. Coming into the offseason, not me.
For the Hall of Fame game? I don't know. Hall of Fame game's this Thursday, right?
Yeah,
It's the Texans and who?
Bears.
Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
The NFL knew what they were doing.
Of course they do. Well, it's Andre Johnson, Julius Peppers, tie into two teams and boom.
Right. I don't know. Maybe we should go live for that.
I don't know. I got to be working.
That's true.
I got to be working. I got to get up early that next morning, too.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you
Yeah.
do. Yeah. Sometimes work schedules can get in the way.
Yep.
Oh, well.
I'll come home and watch it before I got to go to bed, but.
Sure. But, I mean, we'll be live for the Steelers games. You guys already know that. It's gonna be exciting. It's going to be exciting. I can't wait for it because that's all I can really think about now is how am I going to have to buy a new TV next year, you know? How am I going to have to just calm down my anger for this season? Because you know what's happening. Like, out of, all the excitement and everything, sure, but you already know that this is the Pittsburgh Steelers we're talking about.
Yes.
Things are going to go down that shouldn't go down, and we're going to relive some of the old memories we had to relive the past 7 years. So it's going to happen, but you know what? I miss it, and I'm here for it, and I can't wait to bitch about it.
And it's 100% worth it if you're strong enough.
If you're strong enough. Yeah, buddy. With that being said, man, I think we're going to go out of here. McFadden he was 20 years ago. He was his rookie year was great.
Yeah.
He made
in that Colts playoff game.
He made the biggest play of the game, dude. Like, yeah, Ben made the tackle, Vander Choke missed the field goal.
But if Brian McFadden didn't break up that pass in the end zone, I mean, we wouldn't be talking Steelers Super Bowl 40 champs.
No. Absolutely right. Unbelievable. Yeah, with that being said, though, think we're going to get on out of here. You guys enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy the rest of your, I guess, weekend, really, because for a lot of us, it's back to reality. It's back to another work week. So, with that being said, you guys take it easy. You guys stay cool out there with it being another heat wave in some areas over here. I'm not looking forward to it. We're not looking forward to it.
I am over this weather.
Dude is 26 and back to his rookie weight. We really letting him go for Warren. I hope not, Isaac. I hope not. I think he is deserving of a second contract. Nothing more, but a second contract.
Just keep the pair together. Keep
Dude.
both of them together. They're both coming in contract years. Extend them both. They showcase how reliable they are. I know that they want to see if they can still gel and work with a different scheme than Arthur Smith, but you know the type of football players that you have. You know that these guys will work hard no matter what scheme, no matter what playbook, no matter what design they are formed in. Just keep these guys because they were your old reliable for how many years?
They're going to have to be now because we don't know what the quarterback situation is going to bring us.
They still will have to be.
Just do it.
Keep them both, man.
Just do it, man. Anyway, you guys have a great week. See you guys later on this week with more Steelers training camp news and reports and stuff coming out with the Pats coming on Tuesday. So see you guys later on this week. Otherwise, attack this week strong. And see you in the next one. Here we go, Steelers, at the end of the day, man.
As always, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you later.
Peace!
Let's ride.
Hell yeah! Let's ride.
Let's ride.
As soon as we see him on that field.
Where's it at? Oh.
Let's ride.
Yeah. I mean, it was just stated, but yeah, why not even more? You know, we didn't see much of Russell Wilson, so we got to hear him, right?
Yeah, how about, okay, we're going to hit every day for every single day he missed. So,
Let's ride.
Thursday,
Let's ride.
Friday,
Let's ride.
Saturday.
Let's ride.
See you on Tuesday.